Rolex makes over 1 million watches a year. They produce dress watches, dive watches, pilot watches, racing chronographs, and everything between. But if you ask 10 random people to name a single Rolex model, 9 of them would just say, the gold one or the green one. Almost nobody actually understands what each Rolex does, why it exists, or where it sits in the lineup. So today we are walking through every single Rolex model family, from the cheapest entry point to the six-figure diamond pieces, and explaining exactly what you are paying for at each level. Let us start at the front door. Number 1, the Oyster Perpetual. This is Rolex in its purest form. No date window, no rotating bezel, no complications at all. Just a steel case, an automatic movement, and a clean dial behind a sapphire crystal. The Oyster Perpetual is where Rolex began, and in 2026 they are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the original Oyster case with special Jubilee motif editions and a commemorative dial. Starting around $6,200 for the smaller sizes, this is the most affordable way to get a brand new Rolex on your wrist. You are getting the same 904L steel, the same build quality, and the same superlative chronometer certification as every other watch in the catalog. The OP does not try to be anything more than what it is, and that restraint is exactly what makes it appealing. Number 2, the Air King. This is the oddball of the Rolex lineup. Where the Oyster Perpetual plays it safe, the Air King is loud about its aviation heritage. You get oversized 3, 6, and 9 numerals on the dial, a prominent minutes track with 5-minute markers in green, and a look that divides opinion every single time. It carries anti-magnetic properties from the now discontinued Milgauss line, with a steel shield inside the case protecting the movement. The Air King sits around $8,000 and occupies this strange middle ground where it is more interesting than the OP, but less universally loved. If you want a Rolex that actually has some personality at the entry level, this is the one. But you need to see it on your wrist first because photos rarely do it justice. Number 3, the Datejust. If you only buy one Rolex in your entire life, this should probably be it. The Datejust has been in continuous production since 1945, and it does everything well without doing anything to an extreme. Dress it up on a Jubilee bracelet with a fluted white gold bezel, and it works with a suit. Put it on an Oyster bracelet with a smooth bezel, and it works with a t-shirt. Starting around $8,950 in steel for the 41mm, the Datejust comes in more dial, bezel, and bracelet configurations than any other Rolex. That means you can find one that fits your style without compromise. The Cyclops lens over the date window at 3 o'clock is either something you love or something you tolerate. But functionally, the Datejust is the Swiss Army knife of the Rolex catalog. It handles everything you throw at it. Number 4, the Explorer and Explorer 2. The original Explorer traces its lineage back to the 1953 Everest expeditions. It is a 36mm watch with a black dial, applied 369 numerals, and nothing else. That simplicity is the point. It is legible in any lighting, fits under any cuff, and works in any situation from a board meeting to a mountain trail. The Explorer 2 is a different animal entirely. Bigger at 42mm, it adds a fixed 24-hour bezel and an orange GMT hand so you can track a second time zone or distinguish day from night underground. Both Explorers start around $8,450 in steel, and here is something worth noting. They are among the few Rolex sport models where pre-owned prices actually sit near or below retail. That makes them a genuinely practical buy, not just an aspirational one. Number 5, the Submariner. This is the watch that built the entire luxury dive watch category. 300 meters of water resistance, a unidirectional rotating ceramic bezel, and a design so iconic that every competitor from Omega to Tudor to Seiko has referenced it in some way. The no-date version starts at $10,050, and the date version at $10,400. The Submariner is not a niche tool anymore. It has become the default Rolex for people who want something sporty, recognizable, and genuinely tough. The ceramic bezel insert does not fade or scratch under normal wear, and the glide lock clasp lets you micro-adjust the bracelet on the fly. If the Datejust is the rational choice, the Submariner is the emotional one. And both arguments are valid. Number 6, the GMT Master 2. Originally designed for Pan Am pilots in the 1950s, the GMT Master 2 lets you track 2 time zones simultaneously, using an independently adjustable hour hand and a bidirectional 24-hour ceramic bezel. The famous Pepsi, the red and blue bezel version, was officially discontinued in 2026, and pre-owned examples have already climbed past $25,000 on the secondary market. What remains in the steel lineup is the Batman in black and blue, the Sprite in black and green, and a few other configurations. At a retail price around $11,800 before the Pepsi was pulled, the GMT Master 2 carries one of the widest gaps between retail and resale in the entire Rolex catalog. If you travel frequently, this watch is not just a flex, it is genuinely useful. Number 7. The Sea Dweller and Deep Sea. These are the Submariners for people who think the Submariner is not serious enough. The Sea Dweller is rated to over 1,200 meters with a helium escape valve built into the case side for saturation diving. The Deep Sea takes it further, rated to 3,900 meters with a ring lock system that reinforces the crystal under extreme pressure. The Sea Dweller sits around 13,150 in steel, and the Deep Sea slightly above that. Both watches are thicker and heavier than the Submariner, which limits their everyday wearability for some people. But if you want the most overbuilt dive tool Rolex makes, this tier delivers that in full. Collectors who value substance over hype tend to gravitate here, because the secondary market premiums stay surprisingly reasonable. Number 8. The Yacht Master. The Yacht Master is where Rolex starts mixing luxury materials with sport watch proportions. You get precious metal bezels on steel cases in the Rolasium configuration, which pairs an Oyster steel case with a platinum bezel. There is also the Oyster Flex rubber strap option, which gives the whole package a more casual, modern feel. Starting around $12,500, the Yacht Master does not pretend to be a tool watch. It is a lifestyle piece, and Rolex leans into that positioning. The 2026 Yacht Master 2 got a significant redesign with a cleaner dial, better proportions, and a more practical regatta countdown system. If you like the idea of a sport Rolex, but want something less common than a Submariner on your wrist, the Yacht Master is worth a serious look. Number 9. The Daytona. The single most hyped Rolex in production. Retail sits around $16,900 for the steel version, but good luck walking into a dealer and buying one. The waitlist at authorized dealers stretches to roughly 5 years, and pre-owned examples trade between $27,000 and $36,000, depending on dial color and condition. The white Panda dial commands the highest premiums. In 2026, Rolex released a Rolasium edition with a Grand Few enamel dial and a sapphire exhibition caseback. The first time you can see the movement through the rear of a Daytona. As a chronograph, the Daytona uses a column wheel mechanism and vertical clutch for precise stopwatch function. But let us be honest, nobody buys a Daytona to time-lapse. They buy it because of what it represents. And whether you respect that or roll your eyes at it, the market has spoken clearly. Number 10. The Sky Dweller. This is the sleeper of the Rolex catalog, an annual calendar that automatically distinguishes between 30-day and 31-day months, combined with a dual time zone display, all controlled through the ring command bezel system. It is the most mechanically complex watch Rolex currently produces, and it does not get nearly enough credit for that. The steel version starts around $16,000, with precious metal options climbing significantly from there. The Sky Dweller is big at 42 millimeters, and the dial is busier than anything else Rolex makes. Therefore, it is not for everyone. But for frequent travelers who want one watch that handles date and time zone changes without constantly reaching for the crown, nothing else in the Rolex lineup does what this does. Number 11. The Day-Date, also known as the President. This watch has never been made in stainless steel, not once in its entire history. It only comes in 18-karat gold or platinum, and it sits on the iconic President bracelet with its semicircular 3-piece links. The Day-Date spells out the full day of the week through a window at 12 o'clock and the date at 3, and it has been the watch of choice for heads of state, executives, and anyone who wants to communicate success without saying a word. In 2026, Rolex introduced a new proprietary alloy called Jubilee Gold for the 100th anniversary, adding yet another metal option to the lineup. starting around $40,000 for the basic yellow gold configuration, and climbing well past $60,000 in platinum. The day-date is not subtle. It was never meant to be. Number 12. The precious metal and diamond pieces. At the very top of the Rolex catalog, you find factory gem-set bezels, diamond hour markers, paved dials, and full precious metal construction across models like the Day-Date, Datejust, Pearl Master, and certain Daytona references. The Platinum Day-Date with factory diamonds runs past $130,000 at retail. These pieces blur the line between watchmaking and jewelry, and they divide collectors sharply. Some see them as the ultimate expression of Rolex craftsmanship, with every stone hand-set in the factory to exact tolerances. Others see them as watches that try too hard. Where you land on that question depends entirely on what you want a watch to say about you. Functionally, a diamond bezel day-date keeps the same time as an Oyster Perpetual. The difference is not mechanical, it is cultural. And Rolex understands that better than anyone in the business. So that is the full Rolex lineup, from a $6,000 time-only watch all the way up to six-figure diamond pieces. Every model has a reason to exist, and every model has a buyer it was designed for. The question is not which Rolex is the best. The question is, which Rolex is right for you? If this breakdown helped you figure that out, subscribe and we will keep covering watches like this every week.